Alright, and as per the rule set, should anybody disconnect, as unfortunate as that may be, you only get one reconnect per the entire round. Meaning that during this matchup, should anybody disconnect once, you get the reconnect once, and that's it for the rest of the games.
Very interesting team composition of Voltar, Nor, and Skolder. A lot of displacement, and the combo of Skolder and Voltar is, as we all know, very powerful.
Along with those little Nollians, that could cause some real trouble. But we have a relatively standard team on the other side: a Lone Star, a Froggy, and a Raylan. Especially a Raylan on an AI station.
Yeah, it looks like the Raylan was kind of almost a counter pick to the map as well as the Voltar.
Indeed.
I'm assuming Ike will be spreading out his weedlings to make sure that the snipes don't do too much damage.
And Blue deploys their flying drones first. I kind of feel like that's a Froggy situation. It's whoever deploys first loses.
Well, it was Red who deployed theirs first. They deployed the first two, as far as I remember.
Oh, they did?
Yes, I think they did.
Did not pay attention to that. Sorry guys, this is going to be a long match.
Perhaps it will, perhaps it won't be. We see a throw go off on the Raylan, but the Voltar does not have the drones available. As we all know, Voltar has got a surprising amount of power in those drones. And we've seen Lasertastic go down!
Lasertastic saw that coming, and I don't know why he didn't just jump behind the turret. I mean, it's not like there's a way to be inexperienced with the Raylan matchup at this point in the game.
Yeah. The only way it could be inexperienced if it were against a Raylan matchup is if you were very, very lucky.
Or if you're in League, I don't know, 7, 8?
No, even then, Raylans are super common.
And yes, Baby Mario 101, this is Loser's Bracket. Alright, he's healed all the way. What is he going back for? He's going straight into the push.
Interesting pick. With no levels of sacrifice to help that along. It might be not very effective upgrade. Then again, I've not personally found a use for knockback in my build order.
I've seen some good setups with it, but yeah, it's definitely a much more complex setup. And the lack of Jesus heals afterwards isn't normally a good thing, but then again, he has infinite heal bot for late game, should he decide to go that route.
Yes. I'm assuming that he's going to be trying to pick up a level of weaponized hull very soon, but his farming is not as effective as it could be. We see drones letting him down again, as you see, because they split target.
So he's definitely playing a very offensively oriented Voltar here. We saw him earlier try to push that Lone Star into the turret, so that could be the reason for AI Station here.
Yep. Voltar's very strong in AI Station as well, just in general. And we'll see him base, we see him, as I expected, pick up Healbot. This should make the pokes from Raylan much easier to deal with.
Provided she just doesn't snipe the Healbot outright as well.
Yes, but normally if you're playing Voltar, especially against a Raylan, you're going to be waiting until after a snipe. You're going to be waiting either behind a turret or waiting until after a snipe hits.
And Voltar getting that good feed with that many healing targets.
Yep.
But by the same standard, Raylan's been getting some great feed as well.
Yep, which is why I said it was a kind of a counter pick. Well, almost a counter pick, but it was also a pick based on the map. Perhaps they predicted it, the Voltar pick when they saw AI Station, so...
I wouldn't have called that even if it was just AI Station, especially with what we've seen in the tournament. I think the Raylan pick was just AI Station as being involved.
Yeah. But either way, it's a very strong pick against the Voltar, against the red team. And to an extent, I mean, at the moment, the Skolder is having a pretty hard time being able to approach. Because the amount of, because the field of fire that's going down by the free-ranged enemies. So very, very close
not being out-leveled too badly, with regards to the Skolder. I mean, Raylan's ahead, but what are you gonna do, you know?
Raylan's Raylan. Is Raylan. And it looks like the Raylan has actually backed off, meaning that the Voltar
probably gone back to base to pick something up.
Correct. and which this allows Nor the possibility of maybe getting some more fertilized weeds up.
Oh, and jack the health right in front of that Lone Star.
Yep. Strong play by the Voltar. And we have 2 fertilized weeds up. These are going to be very difficult to take down for the enemy team, but they will be continually sniped for money. Cat game, can you stop that? Voltar's not spectator mode. Not yet. And we will see both the fertilized weeds go down due to a synchronized attack from the snipe and the other 2 teammates.
And Na's going back to base, it appears, for what we should find out here soon enough. What would you see as the next upgrade coming in?
I'm not certain. I don't play very much Nor. For the Voltar, though, I would expect a weaponized hull.
Definitely.
Just too effective. We see a great snipe go down. I think that hit at least 4 targets.
I think that hit all 5, actually.
I think it also. I'm pretty sure he hit the Skulder as well. We see the heal bot go down. We might see Pyro Shark go down.
Oh, there goes Pyro Shark. The missile there, just too strong.
Just with that small area effect, it's all he needed. The missiles also will be a big problem to the Voltar to deal with, because the little knockback will sometimes have some very strange interactions with Voltar. Knockback can end up sucking him into the enemies instead of knocking them away.
Well, he does have a very funky hitbox, being so tall and lanky.
Correct. The infamous drafting / speed bug glitch, where you latch onto a person and move at high speed, happens more often than not with Voltar. If you try to body block, you're more often going to be speed bugged to them.
And that turret just taking all sorts of punishment. It's going to go down here soon.
Yep. And as Lectius is saying in the chat, this Voltar is popping drones at every opportunity he has, all free. And that we saw right there, they just moved, just popped straight to the left and did nothing. We will see a decent knockback to a throw. We might see Nin go down here.
And he barely escapes, but the Nod does not. Oh man, that could not have gone any worse for Super Laser Dinosaur there. It looked like they had a great push, and they managed to get the Lone Star with the DOT, but not a fair trade.
No, and it seems that they're having a hard time deciding on what upgrade they actually want on this next the Voltar next. And we will see Overheal Potion. So no weaponized hull. This means that the Voltar is highly weak when it comes to actual self-defense. And as well as following up on attacks. At the moment, I think the Overheal Potion is a bad pick. Even though it's very strong, but not strong enough in this case.
Definitely a weird option to go with early on.
Honestly, I don't think this is the SLD are not playing at their best at the moment.
Doesn't appear so.
I don't know. Maybe they're just not very used to playing with a Voltar or using Voltar in this case. We will see a throw that misses, even though it really should have hit.
Alright, I just got in some excellent news. Apparently, SNF stands for Smash and Frag.
Ah, that makes sense.
Because it makes a lot more sense because they were at a brawl tournament over the weekend for Smash Brothers, and that just makes all sorts of sense now.
Yeah, all of the senses.
So let's go ahead and adjust that.
Another really interesting thing, I've not seen the Voltar's team actually helping out too much with his farming. For example, the Nor could have placed down his weedlings in a more defensive area, like maybe behind the turret, to I don't know, to help the Voltar farming a bit more.
That's definitely some strange placement.
But at the moment, they're just right on top of the turret, which is a pretty solid idea. Though this will actually just compound the fact that the top turret will be harder to push than the bottom turret.
I would think that with the Lone Star, they would eventually go for the bottom turret regardless and just leave the top alone. But they're doing steady damage to it.
If they do go for the bottom turret, that means that they have to deal with the Voltar's knockback pushing them into it, which could become a pretty big problem.
Indeed.
And as we can see here, the Voltar's drone is doing just too little damage to really...
And down goes Pyro Shark.
Yeah, SLD is not playing at their best today. As we are seeing some decent knockback plays, but it's just not enough.
Can y'all actually still hear the music in the stream? Apparently this track, Summernauts in Concert, just doesn't resonate at all on my side of the speakers.
As we can see here, though, it's like the Voltar is initiating as well as the Skolder. They've got two very strong initiations in the knockback and the throw, but unfortunately there's just not enough, and they're just not getting the correct initiations off.
That seems to be the long and short of it, and now they're officially being out-leveled very hard.
A good throw by the Skolder, but unfortunately the Voltar just cannot do any body blocking because of how thin his hitbox is. People just end up passing straight through him.
And that should be some great feed for Juju.
Yep, as we see the massive amount of solar swaying straight into Raylan's purse. Voltar very low at this moment, nearly got hit by a snipe, but managed to block the line of sight that Raylan had on him. And we will see a pick of Psycho Frog.
Really? Both
Voltar...
range now?
Very interesting picks. I'm not certain that they're really the best thing you could do, though.
Well, it'll keep them off the turret, but not
That's
at a great cost there.
No. Honestly, I would have gone for a weaponized hull. As Baby Mario said, it's just not enough. It's just they don't have enough damage. Unless, of course, the Skolder has gone for damage punches, which it doesn't seem he has done.
Well, SNF did guarantee me that they would try their goofiest team comp, and I'm hoping that this is it, and we'll see something different. Unless this just turns around and gives us something spectacular, but I'm not seeing it yet.
Yeah, as we can see, the knockback. The knockback is just not being as functional as it could be. Even though he's getting some good knockback hits on, some of them just aren't hitting when they should be. And we see Juju get a nice jumping snipe on that Skolder.
Just not doing much of anything here, and that's a face might, that's a death.
Yep, great play by SNF there. Some nice body blocking of the Voltar. Compounding the fact that he's got a very tall hitbox, but just can't get past people. You see, Regen picked up on the Voltar. It's being very defensive with these picks.
I'm not entirely sure it's a defensive option. Granted, now that the turrets are gone, it may be, but I think earlier he was just attempting to create some sort of, I don't know, health setup in which he could push things into his turret.
Yeah,
but
I know
that tactic should have died out a while back after it wasn't successful for so long.
So the both Cyclops pickups were just a very big mistake. Just compounding the fact that Voltar is just as weak as he is right now. He only has base drones as an offensive option right now. The knockback is good for displacement, but that's all it's good for. There's no disable linked with it. And we see Voltar go down with the face might.
And Skoldir down as well. That face might claimed half the team there, well, 2 out of the 3, so. Math nerds, tell me what that is. 0.666666666. What's the name of that little tilde? I guess it is just a tilde over the repeating number, right?
I don't know what it is. Just something to pronounce, something that denotes that it's recurring.
Officially Mathnauts, ladies and gentlemen.
Mathnauts. With boring people.
The most boring.
We see the Voltar in the wrong place at the wrong time, getting caught in a rift. You might see him go, we definitely see him go down. The sniper's loaded and just used to take him out. That is actually a trophy on the Skolder though. There does not seem to be, this does seem to be,
the first death on blue team in ages. Not a great trade though.
Nope, that was a 2-for-1. And we will see that the red team go down in a GG. Just a complete stomp by SNF.
Indeed. And the thing is, SNF gets the map pick now. I mean, we'll see the bands come out, but they have that map pick and the host selection if should they want it.